Yo guys, so you want to start off by importing your footage into After Effects. Once you've done this, you want to right click your footage and create a new composition from this. Once this is done, you'll go over to the camera tracker on the right hand side and track camera. This will create tracking points for where we want to place the file in our scene. Once the tracking is complete, you'll get tracking points appear on your screen. You want to find tracking points where you'll put your file. Right click them and click create camera and track solid. This track solid is where we'll put the file, but in order for the effect to work, we need to reposition the track solid. Next, you'll import your fire asset into your project. With the track solid selected, hold Alt on the keyboard, select the fire asset and drag it onto the track solid. Using the scale, rotation and X and Y position, reposition your fire to where you want it to be in your scene. In order to put the artist in front of the file, we need to duplicate the original footage and rename this roto. This is where we'll make the roto brush. To mask out the subject, we're going to go to the taskbar at the top and click roto brush. Double click the roto layer and now you can start applying your roto brush. Once you finish roto brushing, click freeze. This freezes the mask in place. If you zoom in, you'll see that the roto brush is not perfect, and to fix this, we'll go into the Effects and Presets tab on the right hand side and search Refine Soft Matte. Next, we'll add a glow onto our file. You can use the built-in After Effects glow, but for this one, I use the deep glow. To create a realistic glow on the artist, we'll start off by duplicating the rotoscope that we made of them. We want to go into the settings of this and unfreeze the mask. After you've unfrozen a mask, you want to invert the mask and freeze it again. Next, we go into the roto brush settings and change the feather and the shift edge so that we can start seeing some of the artist popping through on the rotoscope. Now, we don't want this whole layer. We want to isolate the bit with just the artist and not have the background. So to do this, we need to create a track matte. So you'll go into the layers and you want to use the first rotoscope you made as the track matte for the second layer. So you'll take the pick whip and apply it to the first layer. Now, if you hide the rest of the layers, you'll be able to see that we've got a track matte of just that inner area of the artist. With both roto brush layers visible, if you apply a fill from the Effects and Presets onto the roto brush 2 layer, you'll see which areas will be affected by the glow. We want the glow to be the same color as the fire, so make the fire layer visible, and in the roto brush 2 layer, go into the fill settings, click the color picker and click the fire. This will give us the same shade. As you can see, the fill layer does not look natural at all, so to fix this, we go into the blending modes and change it to soft light. It's still a bit strong, so let's turn down the opacity of it. It's starting to look good, but we need to create a glow in the background around the fire. So to do this, we're going to go back to our camera track layer and we're going to create another solid. Using the transform properties, we're going to reposition this track solid to where we want the glow to be. To get the glow to be the right color, we need to copy and paste the fill layer that we put on roto brush 2. So copy and paste that onto the new track solid. Change the blending mode to soft light and change the opacity so that you can get your desired intensity. Now the edges are quite sharp, so to get around this, we'll get the mask tool and create a mask where we want the glow to be. Now you want to feather this mask so that you get a natural glow look. As you can see, we do still have sharp lines, so we need to go into the mask expansion and decrease this so that we have a softer roll off. Make sure to put the track solid with the glow behind the rotoscope, that way it's not affecting the whole image but just the background around the file. To sell the effect even more, we need to add a flicker onto the glows. So to do this, we'll solo roto 2. Now with this layer soloed, we need to apply a flicker effect. If you do not have a flicker effect, then you can just adjust the opacity up and down and keyframe it. And you'll repeat this process for the glow layer in the background. And that's it. That's how you create this cool tracked fire effect with realistic glows. Guys, this is my first YouTube video, so if you guys want to see more stuff like this, drop some comments, a like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Love.